What are the risks of improperly handling hazardous materials? Have you ever wondered what could go wrong if hazardous materials are not handled properly? The risks are significant and can affect both people and the environment. Hazardous materials include chemicals, biological agents, and other dangerous substances that requiring careful management. Mishandling these materials can lead to serious health issues for workers and others nearby. Immediate exposure can cause nausea, vomiting, chemical burns, skin irritations, and headaches. Long-term exposure can lead to nervous system disorders, reproductive defects, and damage to vital organs like the kidneys, lungs, and liver. In some cases, it can even result in cancer. Respiratory problems are also common if proper protective equipment is not used. Physical injuries are another concern. Improper storage or transport can lead to spills, leaks, or even explosions. These incidents can cause burns, crushing injuries, or trauma. Workers may also suffer from strains, sprains, or musculoskeletal injuries from lifting or moving hazardous materials incorrectly. Additionally, falling or improperly stacked materials can increase the risk of accidents. The environment is not spared either. If hazardous substances are released, they can contaminate soil, water, and air, harming ecosystems and wildlife. Cleaning up such contamination can be costly and may lead to long-lasting environmental damage. Legal and financial consequences can also arise from mishandling hazardous materials. Companies that fail to follow regulations may face hefty fines, workers' compensation claims, and legal action. Penalties can be imposed for inadequate training, improper storage, or unsafe transportation of these materials. Operational disruptions are another risk. Accidents involving hazardous materials can halt operations, requiring emergency responses and damage equipment or inventory. In high-risk professions like logging, deep-sea fishing, or storm chasing, hazardous materials may not always be the first concern, but they can still pose risks. For example, loggers handle fuels and lubricants for chainsaws and heavy machinery. If these substances are spilled or mishandled, they can cause fires or health risks. Deep-sea fishers use various chemicals for equipment maintenance and may face hazards from fuel spills in confined spaces. Storm chasers might carry hazardous materials like batteries, fuel, or chemicals for instruments, which need careful handling to avoid accidents during extreme weather. To minimize these risks, proper training is essential. Workers should be trained in the safe handling of hazardous materials, use personal protective equipment, and follow safety protocols. Emergency preparedness is also vital. Control measures include engineering controls like ventilation and containment, administrative controls such as training and procedures, and personal protective equipment like gloves and respirators. Safe storage, labeling, and transportation practices are critical to prevent exposure and accidents. In summary, mishandling hazardous materials can lead to severe health effects, physical injuries, environmental harm, legal issues, and operational challenges. High-risk professions must recognize these dangers and implement strict safety measures to protect workers, the public, and the environment.